If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing.
Guys, welcome to XtraTalk. Today with Maxwell.
Hi, guys.
Maxwell, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
No football games, but we have a couple of things we want to discuss. So I want to ask you straight away. Corona. It's been everywhere, getting more serious last few weeks, and so there are no events anymore being organized, no football, no anything. We're not even going outside anymore, or at least, of course, you went outside to come here. But yeah. I mean, in general, we're supposed to stay in and just wait for whatever happens, because the thing needs to be contained, basically. So, how have you been experiencing this last few weeks yourself?
A bit boring.
A bit boring.
Yeah. Well, okay. Work has to go on, but you're looking forward to some games, and they are being cancelled for the moment. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you understand the decision from all the national football associations to cancel all the tournaments, all the leagues?
It's
everything?
All understandable, and we have to take this. Everybody has to. So again, it is what it is.
Yeah, and we also know that there are also players also abroad for a couple of teams. They already have been tested positive for the virus. Arteta of Arsenal, for instance, as well. I just read today that also Garay from Valencia, Spanish league, also got tested positive. Of course, Juventus, the whole team in quarantine. Yeah. So, yeah, it's everywhere basically. And last week, also the Champions League, you already had a couple of games being played without any audience, basically, or any fans, which was strange, of course. Mm-hmm. And there was a debate at that point whether should we continue to play without the fans, yes or no. That was a debate a few days ago. Now it's like no games. At least, I mean, it depends on which league you're looking at right now. But if you read the news lately, every day it's being like, okay, no, not only until the end of the month, but it's going to be more and more and more and more. Now they're thinking, of course, about the European Championships to be maybe postponed next year. So it seems like we're going from, okay, let's take some measures, and now it's getting to drastic measures because it's getting more and more. And even now the rumors are we have to cancel the league. We have to cancel this season, and we have to start focusing on next season, maybe, because we don't know how long this will take.
No. But I do think the drastic measures are the thing that we are headed to, and probably is needed because the EuroLeague might be cancelled or it's switched to next year. I think you are getting into trouble if you want to replay all the games or give this end of the season a different outcome. So
yeah. So yeah, if we focus on the football aspect, of course, it makes sense not to push because you cannot. I mean, a few weeks you can make it up. You can make up for it. But if it takes longer than that, it's almost impossible anymore.
It's all of it. It's the organization, but it's also what do we ask of the players? They are all standing still at the moment, but then we have to fix this season. Probably during summer, but then the new season is coming. So what do we do with the number ones and the number twos in Holland, for example? Mm-hmm. If they the Champions Leagues is already coming ahead. So
you're a mind reader. I wanted to ask you the same question. So what should we do?
No, that makes it difficult because you have a schedule and you want to fill in the games. But on the other hand, what do we do with the players? Because they will not have any rest.
Look, of course, I mean, I think you also agree on this. First and foremost, health is the most important thing, no matter what. So that has to be taken care of first. But then you start thinking, how long will this take, this whole thing? Of course, we hope this will be not as severe as we're all thinking it will be. So we have good hopes for that. But in case this continues for a month, then what happens to the season? What should we do?
I think the season will. I think they will do anything to finish this season. Therefore, I think anything that is planned for this summer will be cancelled.
So you think a possible option will be to finish the season in some kind of form, maybe not the same way. Maybe they will come up with something new or some new format, basically, just to have it finalized, at the end of the season in the summer.
Yeah, I do think so. For example,
yeah.
the EuroLeague I think it will be cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
The cup for the team winners, the World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be cancelled so that we don't ask too much of the players.
Yeah, but then you also have the issue with European qualifications for next season. How would that work?
I think that they have to reschedule them in the upcoming next season.
Okay, so you mean like that also needs to be postponed, basically? So let's say if you postpone everything, you start also later, right, in the season. But then again, if you do the European Championships next year, then you also will have problems.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
That's the difficulty, yeah. And especially also for club teams, but the international teams, maybe that will be also get on hold. It's a difficult
It's
thing.
very difficult.
It's difficult.
Maybe you should just say, what, let's not focus on, because they don't. The problem here is basically they don't know when this will be over. So you cannot plan anything if you don't know when things will end.
No,
basically,
yeah.
That's the problem. How about just say right now? I'm just giving it to you. How about just say now? You know what? Just stop the league everywhere. What we have right now, this is it. I know it's very difficult to accept and swallow for a lot of teams. I mean, what about teams that are in relegation and are still fighting for relegation,
Mm-hmm.
Teams that are fighting for Europe. It's very hard thing to swallow. But again, this is very drastic thing we're experiencing in the world. Maybe you should also take the drastic measure to say, this is how it is. We cannot do anything else.
It's also an option. I can, it's a way of well, let me address it a different way, because if you would do that, then it would mean that everything that's planned for this summer will go through.
Exactly.
But then again, we don't know if everything is over. So
exactly.
we can.
That's what I wanted to tell you.
We can look into the future. So
the problem is it's very hard with the situation still going on, mm-hmm. not knowing whether it's being contained or whether it will be more or. We don't know what.
No, we don't know, because you gave the example for the team of Juventus being
mm-hmm.
in quarantine. But what if more teams will be in quarantine?
Yeah, but also Arsenal is in quarantine, and Chelsea also in quarantine.
So what's the fair play?
Yeah, exactly. What is a fair? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I think the first and foremost thing should be how to combat this situation with the virus.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to see that everybody. Is healthy or remains healthy in the future. And if this takes some time, then that is the thing that we have to deal with. You cannot change that. So let's say if it ends in the summer, there's no way, because don't forget, the players are also not an on and off button, switch button. You cannot tell them after 3 months, let's play.
The difficulty is most of the players, their contracts will end on the 3rd of June. So everything that will take place afterwards, they are not part of the team anymore. So you can say for example, we will end things in later this year, but they're out of their contract. So what are, for example, Ziyech, he will be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that is happen will happen after.
Exactly.
What are
so how would that go? How will the transfers go?
Yeah.
It's so complicated right now, and we just have to look and see how things evolve in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it back a little bit, to the last game of Ajax against Heerenveen, and just talk a little bit about Ajax. I would like to have your opinion on that one. So we played against Heerenveen. That was the last match.
Mm-hmm.
We were really struggling before. I imagine you watched the game.
I did.
What are your key takeaways from that game? Were you? Of course, you were happy with the result.
Very happy with the result, just because the series that we had, a very negative series, and we killed it. wasn't happy with the performance, not at all. But I was
not very convincing performance.
But I was happy that they fought for the win.
Yeah,
because after all those losing games, you would almost think that they didn't have that in them.
Did you because this was something I also discussed about the game in Heerenveen, the position of Blind, because he started with Blind in number 6. Did you understand that? I mean, could you?
I could understand it. Yeah.
Did you agree with that?
No. I would have also placed him in as a defender, left defender. But I can understand why he wanted to bring more football to the team from the series that we talked about. If you looked at the matches, the midfield was struggling, but I don't think it's the midfield. It's the positioning of the players that is, to me, is the biggest mistake of the coach in these last few games. Opponents, they know the weakness of Ajax, and they try to benefit.
And the weakness is basically how we're positioned off and on the ball.
I think the biggest mistake or the biggest thing that's discussed at the moment is the positioning of the left and the right wing back.
They're too much up front.
They are too much up front. They're playing like attacking wingers instead of defending winger.
Yeah, and then what happens is in the counterattack we're very vulnerable because then the center backs are exposed, right?
True, but that has always been the case because it's not something of these past few months.
That's true. But the thing is that I also discussed this last time, and Ten Hag even said that. Ten Hag basically wants the wing back to go up front, but not at the same time.
No.
So if the ball is on the left side, Tagliafico should go all the way, but then Dest should know, oh wait, he's there, I should hold back right now, and the other way around.
Yeah.
And that's not happening at the moment. Well, it hasn't happened in the last few weeks.
I can feel, I can understand the eager of, for example, Dest. Maybe he, because of his age, him more than Tagliafico. The eager to go more up front because your opponent is walking backwards with 9 to 10 men. And defending on the box, in and around the box.
This was basically one of the. I mean, it was shown in Twitter a couple of times. Tadic, of course, not telling, but he was angry at Dest basically. But it was similar. It was basically Dest was a little bit too much out of position because he wanted to give him the ball, but he was not behind him.
Yeah, he wanted to run forward again.
Yeah.
But in this case, he had to be more patient before he started running.
One question. I'm asking this to a lot of people. Your opinion about this. Did you think Tadic exaggerated in his behavior, or do you fully agree how he did
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
As a captain, and probably because I think that what set Tadic off, I think it was the reaction that Dest gave him. We will never know what he said, but I think in the first seconds you saw him. He was mad, but you saw him. You saw a flip of the switch at one moment, and I think it was because of the way he reacted on him that he was. Which
is for me it was surprising because since Tadic has been playing for Ajax, I have never seen him like that.
No, but he's a captain. And he's one of the oldest of the team. He's one of the most experienced of the team. So you have to expect this from him, and maybe from all the other guys who should, in the series that we have, who take the team by the hand and show them how they should act and how they should react on several cases.
Yeah. So coming back to Ajax in general. So we know that a couple of the people in the staff, they were quarantined as well. And for the game against Heerenveen, Bogarde, you know Bogarde, of course, he was asked to substitute Paulso, I believe. But then this news last week was that Ten Hag was very happy with the input of Bogarde, just in general, and that he has been taken permanently.
Yeah, he got promoted.
He got promoted to the staff.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Don't know. I really don't know because
do
I
you
know
have an opinion in general about
because
Bogarde?
I know the player Bogarde.
Mhm.
I know the character that he had back then, and if you ask me if you compare him to, for example, Paulsen, and if you places those beside each other,
Yeah, it's pretty extreme from each other.
I think maybe the team at this moment, a person like Bogarde is what the team needs.
Yeah.
And especially what I liked about him was in this game, he was standing on the sideline and he was yelling at the players. And I have never seen Paulsen do anything like this.
No.
Even Reiziger, I haven't seen him do anything like this.
That's true.
And he was in this game. He was smiling on the sideline, sitting with his notebook and everything. So maybe this is what the team needed. A little in the season, a little bit refreshment for the team.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to ask you. Again, we don't know what will happen in the future, but there was this article this week about Blind. That Blind he came back, of course, from Manchester United to Ajax to play, and he said, "You know what? I'm happy here. I really love playing for Ajax, but I never said this will be my end. The end of my career will be at Ajax. So I'm open if there is a new adventure, and I like that adventure. It's a good team. There is something for me to play for. Then I will consider that. Of course, it's a personal thing. Now, do you think, because of course Blind turned 30 as well. Happy birthday to Blind this week. Do you think, as a position from Ajax, do you think that Ajax should hold steady this summer? Let's say if this summer something might happen, again, if everything normalizes, if somebody comes or a team comes for Blind, should we be a little bit, trying to keep Blind, or should we say, you know what, it's fine, you know what?
No, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Because he's one of the experienced players.
Yeah, but he's
right?
one of the players that the staff knows about. That if that club comes, then he might be gone. So I think I think Overmars in this case, he knows. Probably Blind told him which clubs are interesting for him. So he will probably know it and react to it.
But you know that if Blind also leaves, there will be almost nobody except for Tadic left.
No, but we had that kind of seasons before. So then we have to rebuild. And no matter what, we have to rebuild.
That's true.
Because we will probably lose 5 or 6 players.
But it's different whether you rebuild if you miss 3 or 4 players, or you miss 7 or 8 players.
True. And therefore, Blind is a big pawn for this team of Ajax and for this coach probably. But no one is
bigger than the club.
No,
I know. And we had a lot of good players leave the club before.
We almost cried when we lost some players. So everyone eventually another guy will stand up and take the place of that player.
All right, man. Thank you so much for being here, for coming here. Yeah. All right.
It's not a coronavirus tactic, but
I know, but we cannot elbow each other right now.
Okay.
Guys, thank you for watching. Please let us know what you think of the discussion topics we had today. If you have any questions, let us know as well. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and we'll see you next time. Be safe.